Good morning and welcome to our program called Freedom River. We hope that you enjoyed the beautiful slideshow of our art pieces that we created that represented life on the Underground Railroad. For our program, you will hear spirituals that we sang in music class and the instrumental parts that we created to go with the music. We will also perform 2 plays written by students, based on 2 picture books that our classes studied for the Underground Railroad. Welcome and enjoy.
The chariot was a symbolic name representing a vehicle used for escape. It was also another code name on the Underground Railroad. Harriet Tubman, a conductor on the Underground Railroad, was known for singing the song, "Swing the Low Sweet Chariot," as she approached nearby plantations. She was hopeful that, as upon hearing this song, slaves who anticipated escape would gather their few belongings and prepare to secretly flee from slavery. Home was both freedom in the North and another word for heaven.
The following play is based off the picture book Night Boat to Freedom by Margaret Raven. It tells the story of Christmas John and Granny Judith and their escape to freedom. Hope you enjoy it.
As I close my eyes, I can still remember being a boy in the pine board cabin where I was born on Christmas morning and got my name, Christmas John. I can see the river too, that swept wide by my old master's big house in Kentucky, keeping us a boat trip away from Ohio and freedom. But mostly, I can see Granny Judith bending over her old dye pot, boiling and stirring up hanks of thread.
Granny Judith would weave the thread into a color of the rainbow coming from her pot. Indigo dyeing pretty blue, bay leaves sun yellow, pine straw making purple, and bamboo turning turkey red, the color that stole Granny Judith from Africa and put her into slavery.
One night, Granny Judith told John the story of the strangers who came to her village and laid down a red flannel cloth in front of her. It was so pretty she grasped for it, but they tricked her on and on with bigger pieces, so they got her across the river and onto a ship. Lord, child, that ship sailed away. I was to go home, but the ship sailed on across the ocean. And that pretty color red turned into a sad color of slavery for me. Granny Judith spoke so low, even the dark couldn't. But now, Christmas John, we got a chance to learn the cause of freedom. A man across the river has a stage and foot escaping slaves. We can go to him by boat tomorrow. When the moon is black, I'm asking you to take Molly. Christmas John grew so quiet he could have heard a song near flying feathers. He was 12 summers grown and a strong hulk of a boy, but he felt fever as a baby, knowing what Granny wanted him to do. I know you got fear, child, but what scares the head is best out of the heart. I'll be here praying and waiting to know what color
I found the old boat hidden by the Kentucky station master in the woodsy part of the river bottom. The boat was so weathered, I prayed it would keep us safe. Molly slipped in by me. It was black, dark, and I couldn't see her, but I felt her eyes. We didn't risk to speak. We just rode in the cold, praying nobody would hear the oars slapping through the water. The current pulled hard, and my heart pounded. All I knew about the Ohio side was to row toward a lighthouse and a ringing bell.
Christmas John saw a light. 2 men appeared from the shadows. You hungry, boy?
I figured these men were the Ohio station masters, so I told Molly not to worry. But then I remembered I didn't know Molly's color.
Molly, what color are you wearing?
Blue. That was the only word Molly said that night, but later when he told it to Granny Judith, it made her smile something beautiful.
I didn't sleep for weeks, but by and by, I started to like the idea of helping others cross the river. I was making 3 and 4 trips a month. Sometimes I took 2 people, sometimes a whole boatload. They would meet me in the open on the black nights of the moon and give me a secret password from the Bible, Manar.
Christmas John rowed them across in that old boat. Night after night, it kept him and his secret safe as he'd hurry back in the dark. He and the boat making it to shore just as the morning star lit the sky. What color's for you tonight, Christmas John?
Yellow.
And also indigo and green, the colors worn by people in the night, people I could touch but never see. One day, I saw Granny Judith cooking up colors in her old pot dyeing cloth.
I had a dream vision to make a quilt that stretched out the freedom colors and pretty squares like a rainbow bridge from side to side. When there's only 2 squares left to finish it, our work here will be done. Then, Christmas John, Dream says we gotta get ourselves over the river, because danger's gonna go awful.
Black moon made black moon. Christmas John made the river trips. And square by square, Granny Judith's quilt grew. Soon, a whole year had passed. Master had Christmas John working in the fields. He had to take bigger chances to sneak off.
Then one night, about July, when the green corn was ripe enough to eat, I stepped outside of the boat and heard the bloodhounds baying close by. I hit up a tree, shaken so badly I could hardly hold on till the dogs left. Thank the Lord Granny Judith had some little pouches stuffed with ground up Indian turnip and tied them onto my feet. The root smells like a strong pepper to keep the dogs from knowing my scent.
When Christmas John told Granny Judith about the dogs, she cried. You surely been killed! Look at my foot. There's only 2 squares missing to bridge the cloth end to end. And put this fine new woolen shirt on, the color of turkey red. She then wove that color into one of the last patches on her quilt. It's your freedom color, because tonight you gotta row yourself to safety, Christmas John.
Where's your quilt patch, Granny Judith? We're going together.
That's foolish, Top Child. Morning stars kneel here, and those dogs are all bad. I just get you caught. Slow you down. Granny Judith put the near-finished quilt into his hands. You take my night colors to the freedom side where they belong. And don't you cry for me, Christmas John, because love don't stop a river, and no river's wide enough to keep us apart.
As I left, I felt as my heart would burst. Then I thought, no more than started. No dogs. How could I leave Granny Judith?
Freedom's got no color for me without you, Granny Judith. What scares heads best knoweth the heart. Let me take you across.
Praise God, child. Your heart is brave enough for both of us.
Morning star rose no fickle as Christmas John got Granny to the boat. They slipped over its side and headed for the light in the bell. Slave catchers with guns and torches swept the water for them. They rowed harder, praying to hear the sound of the bell. The night stayed quiet for the longest time. Then they heard it, the bell. As hard as Christmas John rowed, land seemed to never get any closer.
Finally, I saw the spill of the lighthouse beam in the river. I rowed my boat toward it, just when I thought I'd collapse. We reached shore. Ohio!
Friendly arms and the foghorn voice helped them up to the dock. Sweat ran down their faces, Granny Judith crying, shaking from fear and joy. Christmas John wrapped a quilt around her like a big warm hug and touched the one empty patch on the cloth.
What's Freedom's color tonight, Granny Judith?
Oh, Lord, child, didn't my dad Pop teach you anything about colors? Look at us, Christmas John. In the dark of the moon, we are all the colors of freedom and sugar. You and me, child, you and me.
We are the colors of freedom!
Slowly, pink morning cracked the sky. Behind them, water lapped against the dock. Christmas John turned around one last time to take a look at his dear old friend, the boat, that had brought them and so many others to freedom.
In that new day rising, I watched it rock peaceful as a baby's cradle that's done its work for the night.
While escaping from southern plantations, the song Wade in the Water was often sung to warn of approaching dangers. Bloodhounds were often used to pick up the scent of escaped slaves. By wading in the water, slaves would succeed on throwing the dogs off their trail. The song offers both hope that God is on their side and partial instructions on how to find freedom.
Thank you.
A one-legged sailor named Peg-Leg Joe worked at various jobs as he made his way around the South. At each job, he would become friendly with the slaves and teach them the words to the song, Follow the Drinking Gourd. The song contains many directions on how to use the rivers as roads, following the North Star, found in the Little Dipper constellation. For centuries prior to the enslavement in America, Africans were accustomed to making their drinking and eating utensils out of gourds. They knew this constellation as the drinking gourd.
Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the almond is the waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the almond is the waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. When the sun comes back and the first quail calls, follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. The river bank makes a very good road. Follow the drinking gourd. Left foot, right foot, traveling on. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. The river ends between two hills. Follow the drinking gourd. There's another river on the other side. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. For the old man is waiting for to carry you to freedom. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd.
The next play we perform is called Freedom River. It is about a true character named John Parker who helped a slave family steal away at night across the Ohio River to freedom. It is filled with action and danger.
Listen, listen! I heard last night that someone helped a slave woman across the river. John Parker couldn't take credit for this escape, but it pleased him enormously to hear about it.
Maybe Mr. Parker helped them escape. My father says he's helped hundreds. If he does, my father will set dogs on him and rip him to shreds.
John knew if he crossed the river, he may end up dead. There was a $1,000 reward for him, dead or alive, in Kentucky. But he couldn't let that stop him. Slavery was too evil. He had to keep helping people no matter what the risk. A week later, in November, when the moon was just a sliver, John rode across the Ohio River to the Shrove Plantation. Wait, listen, listen! Only crickets and bullfrogs breaking the silence of the fall night. Suddenly, footsteps. Closer, louder! The crescent moon illuminated a black man. John approached him and touched him. I have a boat ready to row you across the river to freedom.
I can't leave. I
infant baby. Ugh.
Suddenly, a white man's swimming club charged at John. John ducked. The man dropped his weapon and grabbed John around the waist. Down, down, the man wrestled him to the ground and punched him in the face. John grabbed a handful of dirt and threw it into the man's eyes. Run! Run! Back to the river, back to his skiff. Row! Row!
Away from the slave state of Kentucky to the free state of Ohio.
Summer came and brought patches of ice onto the river. In January, the river froze. Rowing across it was impossible. Jim Shrope continued to taunt John that he was too afraid to go after his father's slaves. John didn't answer his taunts. He practiced being patient as he waited for spring. In April, the river thawed. He returned to the plantation even more determined.
Wait, wait, listen, listen.
The moon shone on the man John had seen in November. John followed him into a cabin.
I've come back for you and your family. Leave Isaac and me alone. Ever since you came last fall, Master Shrope watches our every move. He took my baby from me and makes her sleep every night at the foot of his bed. Isaac, sneak into his room while he sleeps and take her.
Too dangerous. The master keeps a loaded pistol by his side and swears he would kill her and anyone who comes for her.
John shuddered at Shrope's cruelty, for he knew the baby's parents loved her too much to leave her behind. He returned home. He could not sleep that night. He felt responsible for Sarah being separated from her baby. He had to give his family freedom.
The next night, he rowed across the river again. He tied his skiff to a wooden post and untied the other boat there. He smiled as it drifted away.
Get up, get up. Go away. Leave us alone. I know you're afraid, but trust me. I will get your child out of Shrope's bedroom. No, no, it will never work. He'll kill you and my baby. It will work. Wait in the woods for me. When you hear gunshots, run back to your cabin. Isaac, hold these until I return.
John hurried to the main house.
Into the pantry, into the kitchen.
There's no sign of the vicious guard dogs that Jim Shrope had threatened him with.
Into the hall.
Ahead, light could seep from under the door of Shrope's bedroom. Still no dogs. He held his breath. The Lord must be watching over me, he thought. He gently pushed the door open.
On the other side of the room, a candle flickered. Shrope and his wife were sleeping. A pistol rested next to the candle. John clutched the pistol into his pocket. He listened for the breathing of Shrope and his wife. It was regular and smooth. He relaxed a bit. He saw the baby at the foot of the bed. She was more than 5 feet away, but she seemed unreachable. Crawl! Crawl! The floor creaked slightly as he inched toward the child. 3 feet. Shrope tossed restlessly in his sleep. 2 feet. 1 foot. John scooped up the baby and threw the pillow at the candle. The room went dark. The pistol clanked to the floor. Shrope awakened with the start. Run! Run! Down the hall, to the pantry, through the kitchen, out the door. The baby started crying. There was no time to soothe her. John heard Shrope's running feet and his cursing mouth close behind. Run! Run!
Down the road, to the river, to his skiff.
Isaac and Sarah ran close at John's heels. Gunshots rang out in the air behind them. John untied the boat. Get in and lower your heads! Faster! Faster!
As the oars hit the Ohio shore, John sighed. He had tempted fate and won. He heard his passengers on shore.
Isaac, my shoes.
I dropped them while I was running.
No time to worry now. Run! Run! To the safe house.
In minutes, the family was hidden under straw in the wagon to be driven farther north by the next conductor on the Underground Railroad. John was barely home when there was a knocking at his door. He walked down the stone slope.
Who is it?
Jim Shrope,
Why are you here?
to exchange your shoes for my father's slaves.
I've never seen those shoes in my life, and I don't want them. But you're welcome to come in and look for your missing slaves. Jim gripped the shoes tightly in his hands. He searched room after room. He banged on closet doors. He pulled out drawers and threw clothing on the floor. John did not care about the noise or mess he was making. The longer he searched, the greater head start for Sarah, Isaac, and their child. Listen! Listen!
I heard someone helped a slave family across the river last night.
John wanted to hear what Jim Shrope had to say, but he did not hear his voice. He did not report to work this morning. He never returned to work for John Parker again.
Throughout many of the spirituals, the slave poet has suggested various ways to travel to freedom. Among them are walking, marching, taking trains, chariots, and boats. In Now Let Me Fly, he permits the slave to fly away to freedom. This song implies the encouragement that the slave has already found freedom in the North.
Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Way up high, way in the middle of the air. Way down yonder in the middle of the field, see me working at the chariot wheel. Not so particular about working at the wheel, just wanna see how the chariot feels. Way down yonder in the middle of the field, see me working at the chariot wheel. Not so particular about working at the wheel, just wanna see how the chariot feels. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Way up high, way in the middle of the air. I found a mother in the promised land. Ain't gonna stop till I shake her hand. Not so particular about shaking her hand, just wanna get into the promised land. I got a mother in the promised land. Ain't gonna stop till I shake her hand. Not so particular about shaking her hand, just wanna get up to the promised land. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Way up high, way in the middle of the air. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Now let me fly. Way up high, way in the middle of the air. Way in the middle of the air. Way in the middle of the air. Swing low, sweet chariots, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariots, coming for to carry me home. I'm gonna ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm gonna ride the chariot in the morning, Lord. I'm getting ready for the judgment day, my Lord, my Lord. I'm gonna ride a chariot, chariot. I'm gonna ride a chariot in the morning. Swing low, I'm getting ready for the chariot, my Lord, carry me, my Lord. Coming for to carry me home.
Thank you so much for coming to our performance today. We hope you enjoy learning more about slavery in the Underground Railroad, and have a very nice day.
Oh, great job.
Thank you all for coming. Special thanks to Bo West.
Hayden wants to give the teacher something.